I want to thank first of all to all my team and the entire people here making this possible for us as a team together. Any one of you will find its own place, if not in our courses, rather in bringing their imagination to life by just prompting in Biela. Because as I said, now everyone and everybody, from kids to elders, from those who have the skills to those who they don't have the skills, are able to develop software. If you're not stepping now, you're not stepping into the future, and you are going to be grounded in the past.
Hello and welcome again to another Thursday night with the devs. I'm Adam, and this is Robert, and I have Theodore on my other side. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty well. What about you?
Very good, very good. Almost the weekend, getting excited. What do we have going on this week? I think we're going to continue working on our project that we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yes,
that's correct. Yeah.
All right, and
basically
just to
today we will try
to
finish the website.
So just to refresh everybody's memory, and for those of you that are new, we were working on a website that we had seen on Dragon's Den. And for those unfamiliar with the idea of Dragon's Den is very similar to Shark Tank in the US. Basically, it's one of those shows where you sort of stand up in front of investors with an idea, and they decide whether they want to invest in your idea or not. And the idea that the individuals came up with was this idea called rehome furniture. And basically, they've created a web platform that allows you, the consumer, to buy and sell new furniture, basically. Basically, a lot of times you'll find these showrooms and these art shows and these furniture exhibitions where on display, everybody sees it for the day, but after that, it's sometimes even disposed of because it's not new. So what these guys did is they came up with this idea. What if we were to gather up all this furniture, buy it up, put it on a platform, on a market platform, and make it available to anybody that wants to buy it? And not only want to buy it, but to buy it at a discount, right? So basically you're getting brand new, once used furniture at discounts of 40, 50, 60, sometimes 80% off, right? Which I think is a brilliant idea because, you know, those pieces that they put in those shows, they're not little dinky pieces. These are like superior quality pieces of furniture, their whole rooms. Everything is set up in a very, very professional manner. So for the consumer to get their hands on something like that is really something super.
Not only the price is good, but the environmental aspect, right?
Everything. Look, yes, just like Theo says, it's a very sustainable idea in the fact that it keeps this furniture from either going to landfills or being thrown out or being, something that's done with it that's not so good for the environment. In this particular case, there's a sustainability feature attached to this as well, right?
Their idea is pretty sustainable in my opinion, but the implementation of their own website was not that sustainable.
That's what we're going to get to here, right? The reason we're here tonight is when they were on the show, what ended up happening is the dragons or the sharks or the investors sort of asked them about some of their expenses. And as they went and looked at the books, they opened the books and audited them a little bit. They saw that their web development and web maintenance expenses were crazy. They'd been up for less than a year, and they were spending close to £4 million. That's about $5 million US in less than a year on web hosting and web development for their website that they need. So it was not something they could cut, but what they could do was to reduce those costs without reducing the quality. So what we did with Biela, what the guys did, the devs did with Biela, was they said, we can take this website, we can keep everything the same, but we can do it at a much, much, much cheaper cost, right? And so that's what we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. We've been redesigning this website in the same style and manner. There's this web platform, this web market that they have with Biela, and with simple prompting and vibe coding, very, very simple, where anybody can do it and develop a quality web platform, web market, and show the guys from Rehome that, had they gone to Biela from the start, we probably could have saved them those £4 million, right?
Yeah.
So Theo, take over and tell us exactly what we did just the last few weeks. Just a small recap.
Sure. Let's actually share the screen and go through it a little bit and see exactly what's happening. I also have Robert jump in a little bit because he and Danny were on last week's live stream and they did a lot of work there as well. But we have a landing page here, a very beautiful one. This was done as the front end part of the website. In the first stream, we have a display here. This is basically the first page where somebody goes in, and we talked about this with Adam before. It's a very beautiful website. We had like multiple iterations of it. Then we have the rooms, the actual part where you can go in and purchase. So it's actually split into rooms the way we did it.
Like they do in the show. I mean, they sell rooms from those shows, right? So exactly the same way that it is. And you know what I want to start doing tonight? Sorry to cut you off a little bit, but I want to translate developer talk into common talk. So right now you've used two phrases that I'd like to just clarify a little bit for laymen, people that don't know web development and web design. The first thing we mentioned was the hero section. Theo, go back to that first part and let's just explain to people what the hero section is. So the hero section is what? It's usually, go ahead.
The hero section is usually the first page you land on. So it's either called a landing page, which is the actual entire website that you can see here scrolling through it. This is the landing
that you
page.
Land on when you put in the address, basically.
Exactly. And the hero section is just the section at the very top of the landing page, where the user is usually met with the proposal, the call to action, the video in this case, promoting the product.
A lot of times those hero sections are videos, aren't they?
Actually, they could be a lot of different things. And from what I've seen nowadays on like high-end websites, I've seen a lot of interactive stuff, such as, for example, a Resend does a little cube, I believe, like a Rubik's Cube that you can actually play around with. And we've done that in the past with Biela as well. We have a template that's sort of interactive. When you land on the page, you get to the hero section, you see the hero section, and you can actually play around with your mouse and see like some smoke effects on the screen. I believe you guys know about what I'm talking about. Right,
Adam?
Adam?
Exactly, right?
Yeah. You know,
and the other I just want to explain Sorry, Robert, go ahead.
It's the most important part of a website, in my opinion, because it's the first look and first thing what you see when you arrive. It's like your home, or how you are dressing, right? When you have a meeting, it's the first
It's
look
your
is the
first
most important,
impression.
yeah. First impression.
Yeah.
And for example, I want to show. I'll show here. I want to show, for example, the Apple one. What's the importance here? What they are promoting? The last product, but what they have when they are going to release the. Can you see my
So
screen?
their
by the way?
newest, greatest
can.
product, yeah? Their newest,
Yes.
greatest product.
So
Right.
in this case, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a video, it's just a title, if it's something. So it doesn't matter. The thing is have to be related what you are doing, and to show to send a message to the user.
And you know, there is that expression, you only get one chance to make a first impression, right? So the type of furniture and the quality we're dealing with here, we said, is high-end furniture, very, styled, very slick. So the website has to reflect that, right?
Exactly.
The hero section, the landing page. And the other word that Theo mentioned, the other word that I just want to focus on a little bit, is the front end. The front end, you said. And then Robert, can you explain front end for us?
Front end is the visual part of any. For example, in these cases, the website, or it's everything what you can see: buttons, colors, effects, and everything. And then backend, it's where the logic is, where when
we
I
don't
press,
see.
yes, exactly, the communication between the database and the software and everything.
Exactly. So these are two words I think we hear a lot in these development calls. And I just wanted to make sure that we clarified them for people that aren't developers, right? Because I work with some people sometimes in the groups and when people asking questions, and I use these same words and sometimes I get stopped to explain them. So I thought today might be a good day where we talk about these phrases that come up. So should one or two other phrases come up, and if I need to interrupt you guys, I'm sorry, but I will. I just want everybody to understand what these words mean when we talk about using Biela being able to develop a front end all in itself, or to give us a hero section that is dynamic and interactive, right? That's what we mean by these words and phrases. Sorry to cut you off. Continue, please.
Okay, so I have I was going through the websites, but I was actually trying to write the prompt for the first modification that we're going to do to the website. But we can actually walk through a little bit more of the entire page. So we have the story here. Actually, we were in the rooms. So in the rooms here, we have the actual shop part where people can actually purchase their furniture from the rooms. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I want to do to modify it a little bit. So if we click on a room here, you can see it opens up with a nice picture, the name of the room, and we have the purchase price. And most importantly, we have the pieces in this room. So we have a lot of furnitures in this case. We have a couple, I believe there's there's X2. So you can have multiple pieces in a room as well, like multiple of the same.
Right.
And you also have the dimensions, I believe. They were located somewhere.
Of course, you need the dimensions, right? Why do we need dimensions? Because we want to buy the furniture and put it in our house, right? If we don't know the dimensions, what's the use of being able to purchase those pieces?
Exactly. And we have the dimensions here, but I think we should probably modify this a little bit so it does say the actual sizes underneath each of the items. We also have the material, which is pretty good. So we're gonna have to add that into the selling part of the website. And this is about it for the rooms. For the story, this is just an About Us page, a simple About Us page. Nothing crazy.
Who did the About Us page? Where did that come from, that information?
So the About Us page was actually created by Biela itself. We didn't really...
Without any sort of prompting with regards to what to write in it.
Exactly. So we didn't add, or at least I don't know if my colleagues added anything in the last week.
Nope.
But in the first prompt, we didn't actually add anything regarding this story or to
So
what
Biela
to
was
add.
able to create a user story for us.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. The good part
Amazing.
of this is you can actually, well, technically, you will create this by itself. It's probably not going to be the most accurate story,
Of
but
course.
the good thing with Biela is you can easily modify all of this. I mean, you can give
So
it your
it will create
backstory.
for us a user story based on what it thinks. But I mean, at that point, I can modify it any way I like, right? But the
Exactly.
fact is that it knows where to create a user story, how to create a user story, right? To build something up. And at that point, I can sort of modify that so it fits my brand exactly. But it knows to do it, which is something that I think these website development sites don't always know how to do well, right? So the fact that Biela can do this on its own is something that, it sort of makes it stand out a little bit. I love the fact that it's able to take on all these sort of tasks and roles by itself, right?
Exactly. So in this case, you would be able to modify this, and actually a good use case of how you could modify this would probably be using the voice model, like voice input, or the private CTO. You could be basically speaking to Biela itself. You could be telling it your own backstory, your own company's backstory, and it would be able to write that in text and then adjust it, properly to fit an actual shop site, like a store page. So I think
Or
that's
even
one of
you can
the
use plan mode, and it will keep asking you questions about your company, when it started, what's about, um, your entire story, basically.
entire backstory.
And again, it's all done through Biela and a simple prompt, right? All of this is done on a sort of standalone basis. Biela has done all that by itself, right? And that's part of the reason why we have these Thursday night shows with the devs, right? It allows us to see all the capabilities and the power that Biela offers you with very, very limited knowledge with regards to coding. I mean, like I said, I don't know how to code at all, and I've been able to create some amazing websites and web markets and web apps with Biela, right?
That's true.
Exactly.
Nobody really needs to code. Nobody really needs to know how to code in order to use
Exactly.
BL. It's such an easy tool to use. And this is what I did right now. Like while you were talking to me and while I was going through the website a little bit, I was able to. Well, it didn't really take that much cognitive ability to actually write this prompt while I was actually talking as well. So I gave it a prompt because we want to modify a couple things in this live stream. So here we have a users page. So this would be, obviously it would have to be connected to Supabase or an actual database in the backend, but we might be able to do that at the end. We'll see. So this is the users page where normal user can log in to either buy or sell their own products or buy from other people, buy their rooms and other stuff like that. So in this page, I want to modify a couple things. So for example, in the orders here or in the selling page, I want to click on submit a new item or and be able to submit an actual room, because currently we have items and they're not really linked together from what I'm seeing here. So we want to just be able to link that together between the actual rooms page. So from what I showed you with the pieces and the numbers of items and the dimensions and the titles and all of the information here, the prices and everything like that, I want to be able to link this to the selling page, right? So that's what I'm going to redesign here a little bit. Wait, maybe we can actually modify these icons here. I'm not sure why they're emojis.
Yes,
I
it's
have,
new, this one.
yeah, have you seen this before? I don't know what I did to the emojis here.
So
And
to
I
remove or to change something within the website there are several ways to do that. And let's just quickly recap how we can do that. How are some of the so if we want to take these emojis out, for example, how
yeah,
would we do that?
Different ways. You can go
Yes.
and
many
specify
ways.
it by text. Other one is taking a screenshot and explain what you want to change. For example, these emojis are not matching with the website, so please change them all.
To icons, right?
Or I don't know if you have any other way.
Yes,
Theo?
the magic tool.
The magic
Our
button.
favorite
Yeah,
tool, yeah.
yeah,
It's my
We
favorite one. I like to use that one. And the magic tool is probably the simplest one for me because I don't need to take a screenshot and actually put it in the chat box. Basically,
exactly.
I just click on the magic tool, I touch the part of the website I want to change, and it automatically puts it into the chat box, right?
Yeah, it's basically like a screenshot tool, but better in every way. It's built directly into Biela, so no need for external software or anything like that, or fumbling around with cropping into the part that you want to see. You just basically click this button, highlight the area you want to modify, and then it automatically puts it into the chat for you, so you can see it right here above exactly what you need to modify, and then you can
Exactly,
tell
right?
it
Exactly.
pretty much what you want to do.
exactly.
There's also another, I think I could consider this another way that you can modify things on your website. You can actually just talk to it, right? Maybe you can plan, or you can use the voice mode, voice
Yeah.
input. You can probably just guide it using your own voice exactly where. I mean, I haven't really tested this. I don't really use my voice a lot in online, or to talk to an AIs, but I know a lot of people do. Do you, Adam or Robert?
Yes, I tried out. For example, I had to tell something uh, so large, so I had to instead of typing it and took me 5 minutes or something like this, I could do it with the voice in less than 1 minute, and that's all.
And because I'm sorry, Robert, English is not your first language. You could do it in what language?
I
In
can
any
do it
language.
in for example, I can do it in Spanish. I can do it in whatever language you wish.
Yes, yes. So it is amazing. It is an amazing tool that way that not only can I do it with voice commands, but I can do it with voice commands in several languages, right?
That's for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Yeah.
So,
So
do you, Adam?
today,
Do you
go
use
ahead.
the
I
voice
use the
voice
voice
tool?
because unlike you guys, I'm not a developer. So my typing speed is something like a chicken with hunt and peck, right?
I I saw. I was really about to say, like, you hunt and peck for keys.
Yes, I do. So I am not a developer. I don't use my keyboard where I can get away with speaking to Biela. Absolutely, right? When I use Biela, I absolutely do talk to it just for the sake of efficiency and speed, right? And accuracy.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about spelling.
Okay, so I'm just sending a prompt here again. This time I actually took a screenshot. I just wanted to capture the whole page entirely,
Exactly.
just so that it knows. This tool, I believe, does actually highlight the entire page as well, but I think it's a little bit more useful for fine grain details, like, for example, changing the emojis for these menu buttons here. And in my case, I kind of want the redesign of the whole entire users page, users dashboard. Would you call this a users dashboard?
Yes, we call it user dashboard. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was kind of a little bit
We are
on the
on the
fence
user
of what to
yeah.
call it. There's also an admin dashboard, and I wonder what we should do with this. Maybe we should also connect it with the whole website. Maybe that would be a good
Yes.
idea.
If we connected with the whole website, we should definitely create a database and then a way to log in. Okay, because if we just keep there the button, everybody can log in and do whatever they want, or delete
That's true.
whatever they want. And so those buttons usually are hidden, or it's another path to reach the admin page.
Yeah, it's a feature that I always tell people to remove from their own website. So usually
Yes.
I've seen this before. People would add. I mean, I'm kind of guilty of this as well. I usually add an admin button to my website, especially in Biela, because it's a little bit more complex to actually just go to a /admin at the end here in the URL of the website. So I usually add that button just as a simple, quick and easy get to the admin dashboard solution. But it's important to actually remove it at the end when you're done with it,
Yes.
because it's a pretty big security vulnerability. It's mostly, I would say, it's mostly like security through obscurity, which is not really, people would regard this as not real security, but it's better to be hidden than in plain sight, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so currently we're working on the redesign. Biela's working on the redesign, and it correctly identified from the screenshot
Yes.
the exact emojis, which is pretty cool. I never gave these to the to Biela itself, but it recognized them from the screenshot here, which is very cool. I love when it's
Yes.
doing that. Yeah, so I think it's about ready to show. Let's see what it did. It also implemented the... Okay, so it should be done now. Let's see if it looks better. Yes. I think it looks better. Let's take
Yes.
a look at it. I love it. But this footer here is so big. It's taking up almost like half of my page.
There, the button on the button, it's basically the title. So this is why it's taking that
Yeah.
that much space.
But this is a way we can actually feature the button itself, the magic tool button. So let's go ahead and try that. Yeah. So we'll click on it, and you can see it actually highlights some elements in my page. For example, this title here, or the text here under it, or this card here. But in this case, we want to highlight the actual footer. So I'm just going to click on it. So the footer, for people who don't know, is actually the bottom of the page. So most pages, most websites nowadays just have a part at the bottom with all the links and all of the pages, some redundant information. That's called a footer.
Media,
Yeah,
also,
social media as well.
Yes, the contact, the
copyright info. Yeah, so it's called a footer. So this is what we call
terms and conditions. What is so important when you create a website also.
Yeah.
Depend on the region, depend on the country. There are different regulations, so you can ask even GPT to or Gemini or yes, ask Biela, right? To find on internet and to create for you that things.
All right, so I'm just giving a prompt such as the user's dashboard is not full height for my screen, so the footer gets in the way. Can you make the user's dashboard a little taller and fill the page, please, without making the footer smaller? So in this case, I should have probably selected the whole page again, but we'll see if the magic tool here does a good job, because I gave it a pretty lengthy explanation of what to do, so hopefully it does a good job. So, but yeah, let's go through the actual modifications so far, and we can see change the icons here, change from emojis, which I actually have a policy where if I see any emojis in a website, I'm just not going there. I just don't like emojis in a website. It just doesn't look professional to me, in my opinion, unless it's like specifically made to do something with emojis, such as like the websites where you actually have to copy an emoji or something like that. Otherwise, I don't really like emojis. It just doesn't make it professional.
I never knew
so-
that. I don't think about them one way or the other, actually.
Really? Because I just think they don't look that professional. I mean, compared to icons, I mean, you can see the icons are a little bit more sleek, a little bit more, I don't know, rounded, I guess. They don't have that much
Yeah,
color,
maybe,
so
maybe. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never thought about it, but maybe yes, maybe you're right.
yeah. But anyway, seems like Biela's doing a modification here, so we gotta wait for it a little bit until it finishes. I think it's done a pretty good job, pretty decent job. I'm excited to actually implement Stripe as well. Maybe we have time for that. What do you guys think?
Yes,
Let's
if
try
we
it.
can.
Yes.
But we need to connect the database for that first.
Okay.
So we did talk about the possibility of connecting Stripe first, but it's actually impossible to do that without
Yes,
connecting
you
a
need to
database.
connect database, and you will see it right now because it will be hide at the button. Okay.
Yeah. So
Or
the button
block.
will not be available
Right.
to be clicked unless you
Exactly.
actually have a database connected. So
All right.
let's go to the preview and let's check the modifications done. So let's see. Oh, it looks like it actually did improve the padding. So in this case, looks like the page is actually a little bit taller. The footer does still take a little bit more of the space, but it's not as big as it used to be. And I think I quite like it like this with the footer here at the bottom. I think it's pretty good.
Yes.
I saw in the modern websites very large
In the
footers. Not on Rehome, on other websites, very popular websites, because there are many titles, many other sites what they want you to visit, or they want to show every information. The one website is not just what you are seeing on the landing page. One website it's a huge
Network
software
of interconnected.
network. Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, we have just Rehome to build, not much other than the admin dashboards and whatever other features that the page has, the website has. But let's go ahead and see. So here in the let's go into the cell and
Okay.
add a new room to cell. And it looks like it actually added some details. So let's see. Room
Yeah.
title, category. I have living room, dining room, bedroom. Pretty good. Description, asking price. This is probably for the whole room. Now, in my opinion, I think the asking price should be per item and then calculated at the end.
Yes, maybe. And you know
That'll
what
be-
else I saw that I think might be something, I don't know if we can do it, but when they had the pricing on that section, they had the retail price and then they had the price that Rehome was selling it at. So you could see the value of whatever you were getting.
That's actually a pretty good idea. Maybe we can
Yeah.
actually implement that. So let's see.
So
Let's
you
give it a
see
prompt.
here, how much is the price showing for the Kensington Lounge?
The price is $64.20.
Right? Ask it to give you the MSRP and then give us the discount after the price is showing now. So not only
Okay.
is it showing us the original price and it's showing us the new price, it's also giving me the discount of 80% or discount of 70%. Right?
All right, let's first of all, I want to interconnect the user's dashboard with the actual rooms page. So let's give it a prompt for that. I want you to connect the user's dashboard for selling a room to the rooms page so that when adding a new room, it also adds one in the rooms page with all the furniture inside of it. And I also want the price, also want all the details,
The
to be
MSRP
exactly
price.
like the details from the rooms page as well. Also, I want the prices for the. Give me 1 second, Adam. This is actually another thing about the prices. I want the prices for the items, prices for the room to be calculated sort of at the end after adding all of the prices for the furnitures in that room package. Okay, now let's focus on Adam's idea. So you said also add a MSRP price of the full room price. I'm kind of repeating price all over the place here, but also add an MSRP price for the full room price when it released on the showroom floor, maybe.
And then show the discount that you gain when you buy it from Rehome.
You gain when you buy it. Our website. All right. Let's go ahead and give this prompt to Biela and see what it's able to create. Very curious about this. Pretty complex as well. And after this, I think we're gonna be able to connect to my database, and then we'll be able to connect Stripe if everything goes to plan accordingly. So in the meantime, I think I will go to supabase.com.
Why are we going to Supabase?
So I don't think I'm showing this on the stream, but I'm going to Supabase. Should I be able to show it? I don't know. I think I'll just talk a little bit what I'm planning to do. So I'm going to Supabase to actually log into my account so that I can ensure that I have availability on my account for projects. And it looks like I do, because I have a lot of projects in my Supabase, and a free account on Supabase, which we're going to use, only has the ability to create 2 accounts at the same time. So it looks like I'm able to do that. And I was also able to log in so that whenever I click on the database button here in the settings tab for Biela, I will be able to go to, it's going to be able to take me to Supabase and not have to connect my account, like not have to log in again. So I'm already logged in. Once I click this use existing Supabase database, it's going to be able to, or connect in this case, I'm just going to disconnect my account. And then I'm just going to connect it again, and then I'll walk you guys through how it's going. So once I click this connect button, it's going to take me to Supabase. I'm already logged in, and it's going to take me back to Biela, and it's going to continue from there. Let's actually go ahead and connect Supabase. So I'm going to click on this connect button here, and you guys will be able to see that we have Supabase here. And I have Biela, authorized biela.dev. And this is actually a new screen for me as well. I haven't seen this before. I'm more used to the old screen of Supabase, but I guess they changed it in the meantime.
So Biela now, Supabase now has automatically connected to Biela?
Exactly. Well, actually, Biela has connected to Supabase.
Biela has connected to Supabase, and there's not a lot that I need to do here.
There's not much that you need to do. Actually, there is quite a bit you need to do in case of creating a new Supabase database. So connecting your account is one thing, but you need to actually create a new Supabase database. So let's click on that button. So it's this button right here. And we'll wait for this box in the chat to load and for the Supabase database to actually be created. And then it's going to give us a couple options in the chat. As you guys can see, we have a notification here. We have Rehome. I have a lot of my other projects that we did on the live streams, like PlanPal and other stuff like that. So it sent the credentials to Biela for my Supabase, for my newly created Supabase database. And we'll wait for the AI prompt to give us basically what it's going to do, like a plan. It's going to create a plan, and we're going to pick the correct option. You guys will
so here in our web market now is connected to the back end, which is Supabase. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And I have used the correct term back end there. Is that right, Robert? Front end and back end?
Yes. Well,
See?
basically, the backend. Let's say the backend here it's a Supabase where you can make authentications, where you can make um, storage. You can keep your secret keys there, so nobody will know it. Don't keep it on the code. You must keep it on Supabase, of course.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
And
it's
here, yep, go
it's
ahead.
actually asking us in the chat to connect my Stripe account as well. But I'm not gonna connect Stripe right away. I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna tell it to connect to actually create the basically everything, the tables and stuff like that for my project in the database. So let's give it a prompt for that. Please create the tables necessary for the user account, for the user dashboard, and rooms with actual data from the front end of the available rooms already, for the already available rooms and their entire data from inside them, such as the furniture and everything. I also want the ability to connect accounts, to log in and sign up, and leave the admin dashboard for later on. All right, let's give this prompt to Biela and we'll wait for it to finish. And in the meantime, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about the Stripe process.
Now, Stripe is what? What do I use Stripe for?
So Stripe is actually a payment processing payment processor. It's a global one. It's actually used in pretty much all of the countries available. But we actually ran into a couple issues recently with Stripe, and it's that we've been running a little bit with some Bahamas. We had a project on the live stream, and we actually had to use Canoe Pays for that. So it's not completely international, but it's pretty much everywhere in the Western world, I would say.
And it's the most used one, right?
Yeah, it's actually
Yes.
one of the biggest ones.
And it's used so I can use my bank card, for example, whatever my bank card may be, to pay through Stripe.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's actually used to take payments. So you have this website, right? And you want, let's say in this case, you want a customer to be able to purchase something from your website. Well, this is what we're going to use Stripe for, because you're not really able to accept payments. It's not very legal. So if you want to accept payments, you would have to go through hoops, like legal hoops. You'd have to
Look, there's compliance, governance, and
there's
security
compliance.
involved in all that, right?
Lawyers
So
and
the
stuff
reason,
like that. So
yes, the
we're
reason we
using-
use Stripe is because it already has all that covered, right?
Exactly. You don't have to go through any hoops. It's just very easy, super simple, and it's able to take the money from the customer. So in simple terms, able to take the money from the customer and put it into your bank account, and then you'll be able to send the product over to the customer from there.
Sometimes it's no need to reinvent the wheel, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, if it's a system that works and everybody knows how to use it, why exactly?
And if you don't know
said.
how to create it, exactly, if you leave this big thing to create a payment system and go through legal and everything, most probably you will fail, because you don't know how to. It's, behind of that, it's an entire team of developers who create such a big system, right? Of course, you can create it with an AI, but most banks will not accept. Most banks will not accept that that kind of payments, because you are not certified. You are not someone who can be trusted by the banks.
Fair.
So better to use third parties, and you know that they are professionals. And in case of look in case of something is
And
happening.
secure.
Happen exactly if there are scammers or something happen while process or something, they will give you the money back. So, or the money is secured, not.
Yeah, you don't have to
Very good.
have any worries about any problems or anything like that. Stripe
And
has
same
customer
thing.
service. We could actually use PayPal, I believe, but PayPal is a
Yes,
little bit
yeah.
more difficult to work with. I believe it takes. I mean, from my experience, when I used PayPal as a graphic designer, I had a lot of issues with it. I had my accounts closed. I had invoices that were just left in the dark. There was nothing I could do about them. It took a lot
I've
of
had stuff.
time as well.
Yes, it's blocked until you've been
Yeah.
using them for a while. No, we're not throwing shade on PayPal. PayPal works for what it works, right?
Yeah.
But Stripe is
All of
used
them,
for simplicity. Yeah, right. Stripe just happens to be used for a more simplified process for what it's for, right? Everything has its purpose. So in this particular case, we're working with Stripe because Stripe is the one that's easiest to deal with in most cases. So end of the day, it's easier to connect with Stripe. It's easier to set up your business with Stripe. So that's why we're going with Stripe here, right? But as Theo said, we could use PayPal, just not as easy to use in this particular case.
Yeah, because Stripe is already built into Biela. So why bother? Okay, so we added Supabase, and it actually created, as you guys can see, a lot of SQL. So SQL is like SQL, some database stuff. I think it's
Database
called
stuff.
SQL. I think it's just called
MySQL.
SQL.
MySQL.
Yeah, MySQL, Microsoft SQL. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
SQL.
There's a lot of SQLs.
Yes.
But yeah, so it executed a lot of that, did some lot of listing of tables, did a lot of migrations, a lot of Supabase stuff. So that was for the database itself. We can actually take a peek at the tables themselves, and as you guys can see, it created the tables. We have items, orders, profiles, room pieces, rooms, and wish list items. All of these are tables within the database, and it actually created a lot of the items inside of these databases. So by itself, Biela was able to create that. So created pieces for the rooms themselves and also the rooms, because I actually told it in the
Prompt.
in the prompt, yeah, here. But then we ran into a small issue where it actually didn't send any network request to Supabase. So it didn't load any of the stuff that it put into the database here. It didn't load on the website. So we're trying to fix that right now. And as you guys can see, it's still doing a lot of SQLs.
Yeah.
It's executing commands for listing SQL and stuff like that, listing the items in the database. So it basically, it's basically doing a lot of on the backside, it's listing all the items and getting the information about the columns and rows and stuff like that, all the parts that make up a table. And after this, we should be able to see a change. We also gave it the prompt to be able to log in and sign up an account, and actually turned off one of the features. And I always do this. It's one of the things that I always do when I create a new database on Supabase. So I go to sign in to the authentication tab to the sign in, and then I turn off the confirm email. I think that's pretty important because we definitely don't want to see the to implement the process of like going to your email account and then confirming the account and all that stuff. I mean, if you want to do that for a real website, sure. But most of the times, I've seen this implemented so many times on websites nowadays that really make no sense, honestly. There's some small websites that have this feature that, in my opinion, are just unnecessary. Just adding a lot of points of failure to your website. So in my opinion, I think keeping it simple is the way to go in programming. It's always being told, it's always taught this way. to keep it simple, keep it secure. Basically, if it's simple, the more simple it is, the more secure it is, and
Sure.
the better the flow is. So that's what we're doing here. We're not doing anything complex. We're just trying to rebuild a website that was made for $4 million. I mean, can you guys believe that it was made for $4 million? And we're doing this with Biela and free services from the web, such as Stripe and Supabase. They're completely free. So you can create a new account today with your email.
So we've created a web market, basically.
Exactly.
With almost nothing.
And they were asked for £4 million.
It's okay, but so the people who don't know what they need or when they need it, or the technology what they need, of course the companies will try to maybe to make money on them, or they see that yes. Well, so it's not just because they didn't know.
To be fair, they were senior people. They were older folk. So I do believe. Sorry, what? Okay, so I do believe that they didn't really know, or they didn't know how to Google stuff. But for anyone that's watching the live streams and is more akin to using AIs nowadays, all you have to do is just ask. And we have a saying here at Biela, ask Biela, always ask Biela.
Yes.
It's gonna be able to tell you the information that you need and give you advice and walk you through things. And we always use it in cases where we don't know. For example, I believe Sarah uses Biela always to ask how to connect a domain to a website that she's created with Biela, right? So I think it's a really useful tool, and I also use Biela to ask questions if I don't know. For example, I think I asked it some question about an API key if I needed to create an account for it. I didn't really want to Google it, so I just asked Biela. I think this was in the stream as well. So yeah, there's always opportunities to learn new stuff. And if you're willing to learn, Biela's here to hold you on the back and hold you by the hand, and push you forward to new beginnings. And yeah. So let's see what Biela was able to do here. Plan big scope, wiring, real Supabase auth plus live data. Again, we have the data in the Supabase. We just need to connect it to the site in some way. Pretty easy stuff. Okay, so I think the Supabase finally connected, and we have a working website now, and we have the home here, the rooms actually, all of them coming from the database. So now the last step that we need to do is actually connect Stripe, and we have a couple solutions for that, a couple ways we can do that, a couple menus where we can do it from, and we have it in here, connect Stripe. I believe we also have it in here in the database, or was that the only one?
I think we have it on there. Yeah.
All right, so I guess the only one we have is the connect Stripe
there
one here.
In settings. On settings also you have it.
In the settings?
Yes, down. No.
Down in the project here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, connect Stripe. I knew I saw it somewhere else. Okay, so we have a couple ways we can connect Stripe. So you can either have it from the code, or you can have it from the settings tab here in the project info. You can connect Stripe, and you'll be able to add your publishable key, which I will provide right now. So I just went to my Stripe account. I have one connected. I have one created. I logged into it. I have it in my side tab. I'm not sure if it's able to be seen. Can you see it, or
no?
Am I
we
only
can't
streaming?
See it.
All right, let me share my screen so you guys can see my Stripe dashboard, so you know where to actually get this data from. So I have my Stripe here, and I have my dashboard basically Don't
Wait a
worry,
second.
I don't have.
No.
All right, so I have my dashboard here, my Stripe dashboard, and don't worry, I don't have $407 in my USD balance. This is just the sandbox dashboard. But yeah, so I'm just gonna copy the publishable key, go to Biela, copy it in here, paste it in here, sorry, and then my secret key. So I'll just go back to Stripe, copy the secret key, and then paste it in here. And the secret key is actually pretty important. You must keep it secret. That's why it's a secret key. You should not show it to people. You should keep it. Ideally, you should keep it hidden or in a password manager or something like that. And we have the test sandbox button here, and we can click on save and confirm, and then confirm sandbox mode. And that was basically it. Now we have the AI reasoning going here. We have Biela running, and we'll be able to see how Stripe gets connected to our project.
Very nice.
So should we wait for this, or what do you guys think?
Let's wait for a second, because I think we'll be fast.
All right. So
Now we have
Supabase.
Stripe. We have Stripe created. We have the Supabase created, right?
Yeah. This is basically
Very
a finished project now.
Yes. Right.
As soon as this prompt finishes, it's basically done. You're done with everything. You can publish this domain, this website on a domain. You can deploy it, which we have a tool for that. We have this button here that's currently
Single
unavailable
button.
because
Yes.
it's currently unavailable because we're running a prompt, so you can't really
Yes.
deploy
Exactly.
once you have a prompt running. So, but yeah, we have the deploy function. But most importantly, we also have the ability to connect your own domain directly into Biela. So if you go to the settings tab here, into the domain name, you can add the domain name, and you can give it, for example, I think it's rehome.co.uk. Obviously, we don't have the domain for that, but if we click on it, it's going to check for it. And I believe it's currently deploying, but I think it's going to error out for a second here because the prompt is still running. But I will be able to show you guys once we're actually deploying this, once we're actually finishing the Stripe. So you go to domain name, add domain name, enter your domain name, and then you're going to be able to, you're going to be prompted to enter the, I think it's DNS records. I think it's triple W or something like that.
Yes.
www records and A records. I think it needs
Exactly. And CNAME.
Yeah. So you get those from a domain providers such as like GoDaddy or Namecheap, I believe is one as well. So
for example, one, yes.
Yeah. So pretty much Biela is built for all of the all-in-one. It's an all-in-one solution, and
Yes,
you're
it
able
is,
to
right?
deploy and
We
build.
created the whole ecosystem, right?
We
no
created
need
a
to go
market,
out.
a market platform, basically.
Exactly. And I believe we can see the cost of the whole project here. I mean, once this gets completed, we'll be able to see the final cost of the whole project. It's about 15 million tokens. And I'd say that's about like, I think with the previous streams as well, around about $25. What do you guys think? I think that's correct.
It's
Number version.
yes, something like this. So you
Around-
have an entire website and marketplace
Yeah.
for
Even if
just
we round
20.
it up to like, I don't know, I'd say like $40, just so we can be like, I don't know, what is it, like 0.001% of the cost of their own website. I'm not sure what
Well,
it's.
depend if you want to change many things. For example, the intro video, or if you want to change little things. Of course, obviously, will cost you a little bit more, but it depend on how you wish your project to be.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll ever be able to reach that number, that incredible amount of money with just Biela. I don't think it's
£4 million.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
No, I
you're
don't.
ever gonna be able to reach that and still have something to do to your website. I think you're gonna reach like a smaller, way smaller number, and you're gonna run out of ideas to build your website.
Look,
Just BLS.
with 4 million pounds, I can build a website for every single one of my customers.
I think I can do you one better. I think I can build a website for every single topic out there.
There you go. Anyway, are we good? Or are we still waiting for this prompt to finish now?
I think we should. I think we should finish. I think this is just gonna clear itself up. I think it's gonna be able to finish by itself. So we don't really have to wait for it to finish. But I think this is about it. This is the project. This whole project, and I hope you guys enjoyed building with us over the last 3 weeks on the Thursdays. So you should do the honorable mentions or honorable. I'm not sure what to say.
Look, I'm going to take us out. I'd like to thank everybody that worked on this reboot website. It was Robert and Theo this week. The week before was Robert and Daniel, and I think the week before that was Theo again, right? It was you and I.
Yeah.
We started it, right?
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of people working on this web marketplace. We were able to show you how Biela was able to take a web marketplace that was worked out to close to 4 million pounds. Mind you, there were some bits and pieces and some add-ins over time that took it to that price, but still, the fact is that we were able to build it for under $40, right? Which
That's
is
true.
a fraction of that cost, right?
A fraction of a fraction.
Like I said,
yeah.
Biela made a lot of it easier, right? I didn't need to know a lot of things. Biela did it for me. So till next time, Thursday nights with the dev, we hope you'll join us. We're happy to see you here. Until next time, thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks, Theodore. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.